Right, hello everyone, welcome to tonight's live stream. It's going to be a short one if I can help it. I'm completely unplanned, but I had a special request from Hannah, a friend of mine from training, that is actually doing the channel logo for us. So, let's give it a go. So today's stream is not, hopefully not in place of tomorrow's normal Sunday stream. Sorry about the delay, by the way. I was just having my dinner and literally just finished it whilst there was about a minute left on the countdown. So today's stream is on basics of space planes and airplanes as well within Kerbal Space Program. So the old plug here for KFC. That was my providers of my dinner today. So I'm just going to put us through to daylight so we can see what we're doing. So, first things first. Sorry about my creaky seat. My first piece of advice is make sure that Kerbal Space Program works. Because as you can see, I've got the circular ring. Helpful. Sorry, turns out the game crashed. So let's just do that again, shall we? I've got a couple of mods, but I had issues with the game the other day and I fixed them. So I do apologise, bear with me. Really don't know why that did that. So I'm not really sure why the game does that. Should we try that again? Okay. Let's see if we can get further than the spaceplay hangar this time. Yay! Right. So, as I was trying to say before we were hit with technical issues, you want to know what you want your plane to be. Okay, so if you want a big plane and all of that, you might go for the Mark III, which is big. And with that, you can then maybe go, oh, I want to make it like the, you want to maybe make it such as length and blah, blah, blah. But I'm not going to do that one today. You can also use the relevant size, so you've got big S delta wings and all of that. I'm going to go with this, because I want to make my plane fast. So, we've got Mark II there. Alright. We're going to add some fuel tanks. So what engines are we going to be using? I'm going to use jet engines or liquid fuel engines without oxidizer. Okay, I'm going to go for another one of them. And then one of these so we can actually mount two engines. And I'm getting rid of the oxidizer because we don't need it. So that's my basic fuselage, okay? Now, to this, you could add engines, you could turn around, maybe I want to use two of these to get my air intake because they're actually really good for air. So I could perhaps want to go like that, you know, or maybe you don't want to do that and you can use that. So liquid fuel engines, they also need air intake, so you could maybe do that, but we're going to worry about that later. This is what I'm going to use. I'm going to attach my engines directly to there, and I'm going to use the whiplash for now. 2 of those right there. So that's our basic first part of the plane. Now what we need to do now is add our wings and aerodynamics. So we use the aerodynamic overlay, which is down here. It's kind of being covered by these, which I can't seem to. There we go. So aerodynamic overlay, you want there. That's that one. That's the centre of lift, and it will tell you whether left or right, and the centre of mass. So as you can see, my centre of lift at the minute is quite a bit ahead of my centre of mass. So I'm going to go here, and I want to start building my wings. I'm going to use the delta wing because it's really easy to use for me. And then like that. So if you want a stable plane, you want your centre of lift a little bit behind. Now that's a lot behind, that's more than I would usually say, so I'm going to chuck in 2 of these. Okay. And then that's still a little bit further behind than I would like, so I'm gonna, there I think is where I'm gonna put it. So there's my basics. Then you want vertical stabilizers. Now vertical stabilizers I'm gonna put like so. Okay, that's our basic plane. So you've got these for pitch up and pitch down, as well as these, and they'll also roll you left or right. These are your rudders. They will hello. They will keep you stable left to right. So the these ailerons and the canards at the front, they will pitch you up, down, and roll you left and right. And then the rudders, which are here, the vertical stabilizers also know, looking at here, will do that. So yeah, that is your basic plane. Now you need wheels. So my tip for this size plane would be something like the medium landing gear. I just want 1 at the front. Alright, don't need this for now, we can get rid of those for now. Okay, I'm actually going to push that further forward. Okay, I need to put this back on. Hexagonal toggle snap makes it means that you get your snap point, okay, which means it's a lot easier to keep things straight. Now, for me personally, I do not like to have my landing gear at the rear right in the middle. Like that, for instance. To me it creates instability. Okay, you can rotate them by holding shift or just A, S and D. So A, S and D, as you can see, turns it by quarters. You could do that, alright, but it's not going to be that stable. Okay, you want to have them wide. I always find that having them wide is better. The other thing I'm going to do, just for aesthetics, is to pull this up. Don't want it too high. So what I like to have, personally, is to have the front wheel slightly lower at this point than the rears, so that it gives you, when you sat on the runway, it gives you an upwards angle. So once you get enough speed, your plane will kind of take off on its own, or will require less input to take off. Okay, so that's that. Okay, there's your basic plane. All we need now is air intakes. So I'm actually going to use, where are they? The bottom ones here, the radial air intakes. And I'm going to put 2 of them, like that. There we go. And that's our plane. Let's see how this flies. So I'm going to get rid of, I've got a few mods here. Hannah, if you're watching, a great thing to get mods is CKAN, that's C-K-A-N. It'll get, and what you want is MechJeb, which you can generally install through CKAN, and it will give you a load of extra bits to help with flying rockets and stuff that will help autopilots and what have you. Right. Okay, so I'm actually going to turn SAS off here, so I don't feel that neither. There we go. If I had a SAS on, that would have been a lot smoother. Let's see if we can land this, shall we? Going to pull up hard, bleed off some speed. Just going to slow it, let it slow down a bit now. There we go. Nice and easy. Hello, Gizmod. Then we can hit the brakes. And there we go. Cheers. Just a very basic one. Threw it together in about 2 minutes. But yeah, nice, easy, plain. So, let's see. Oh, am I in the right save? I might need to change saves here. I know I'm in the right save to show the space station progress. So I'm going to show that. This is for a specific person's benefit, really. Let's go to the Wolf Station, named after one of the regulars to this channel. And this is my current space station, called Wolf. So I have one more piece to put in here, and this station, oh, and one more here, and then this station is complete with everything done. So yeah, we're going to be finishing out tomorrow, hopefully. I'm expecting, now this is not a certain, but I am expecting tomorrow's live stream to be at 9 PM UK time. Again, cheers. Yeah, so that's the space station. We're going to be finishing that on tomorrow, not tomorrow, Sunday even, at roughly 9 PM. Again, I will let you guys know more about that via a Twitter page. Have we got my saves from my other vessels? No, by the looks of it. Let's see, I'm going to go into one of my other saves here. Let's just see if that's in there. If not, I'll quickly build it. Simple as. Is it that one? Let's go in this one, shall we? Right, okay. Oh, right, so some of them are here. Is it this one? Load this one. So this is the one that if Hannah... So this episode is more about the basics, but I'm also showing a friend of mine who has requested this episode some of the things I was talking to her about at training. I will have a look at that though. So only 10 liquid fuel. Is that to... What am I to achieve with 10 liquid fuel? So, there is this one. I'm going to show you this. This is, again, this is for Hannah. I was trying to describe it. I said I'd bring it up on the video anyway. So we have our two fuselages here with the wings in the middle. And then our main plane actually being hung from underneath. So, let's launch this anyway. And this one can go in, the main plane can get into orbit. So this vessel, this plane you can actually download from Steam Workshop, and it is on there. Yeah. I'm not really sure how I did it now. I think it just flies off and that's it. Actually, no, I have got a remote control unit, so it can be flown autonomously. And then obviously we've got Jeb in the main plane itself. So this whole bit is controlled by, over a minute by Jeb, but obviously once separated it can fly autonomously or by remote, and then this is controlled by Jeb. So this is kind of inspired by, what do you call it, air launch? Virgin Galactic, whatever it is, SS Unity and all that. Right, okay, so building up some speed now. Start pitching up a little bit. Let's add a little quite a bit. Can you get us up over 30,000? Right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. So 4 little engines on the back here. So again, don't forget to check out the Twitter page, guys. That will let you know more about tomorrow's Sunday stream. Also got the tomorrow's Crash Bandicoot series as well. So I'd say the area is now probably thin enough where I can do this. There we go. There we go. That is in orbit. So I wonder, is the other plane gone now? Yeah, everyone's gone now. What are these? I'm just going to switch to these. I want to see what they are. I can't remember making them. So I'm just clearing the skies a bit. Oh, that's that one. Just reattach that. So I'm just clearing my skies a bit. Oh, what's that? Yeah, that was huge. That was 7. Don't remember why I did that one. That may well have been the test one. Yeah. That was test rocket. There we go. So now we can switch back to that one. So the other thing you're going to have, once you get planes into orbit like this, you're going to have issues with heat. Let's put it that way, heat. That's going to be an issue, okay? Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but I tend to favour a delta wing. So I'm just pulling up to try and bleed off some speed here. Where's the desert airfield compared to here? Oh shit, just a bit south. So I'm literally just waiting for this to slow down now. Literally just doing some speed bleed offs now. But this plane does not seem to bleed off speed very quickly. It's just because it's such a shallow. So these are quite severe manoeuvres, although they are also quite soft, but that's fine. So just so you guys are new to the channel, we normally host a Sunday stream, generally at 2 PM on UK time, but this week it's going to be delayed because I'm back in my hometown for the day, helping out some family and visiting some friends. So I believe it's going to be about 9 o'clock on Sunday. This week we are finishing the space station that was shown earlier in the video, and we are starting to plan our second one, which will be a cislunar orbit. Now, for those of you that aren't sure what that is, it is orbiting the Mun or Minmus. I haven't decided yet, but I think the Mun because better gravity. And it is going to be basically the Deep Space Gateway. I'm going to try and do something along that lines. Yeah. So let's see if we can land this now, shall we? Obviously, if you're better than me, then you could have actually put in a bit of effort and made a land at the Space Center. But yeah, we're going to be doing a Deep Space Gateway, so don't forget to join for that. Obviously, any issues I will let you guys know via the Twitter page. Is one of the reasons why I do hark on about it so much, is because it's a good way to let you guys know. Upcoming, so if you guys are on the Twitter page or follow me on Twitter, phgaming6, if you're not aware, is the Twitter handle. You'll have seen my upgraded mouse and mouse mat. Same mouse mat. It's more of a gaming surface. It goes longer than my desk is wide, or wider than my desk. Yeah. And a new 18,000 DPI mouse. Which is 10,000 more than what my previous mouse had. Something's still a bit warm. Get out those marshmallows, apparently. So as you can see, I have used the small ones. I would also recommend with these setting it, like I haven't, to disabled with the steering at the back. It helps a little bit with stability if you are turning on the surface. Yeah. Ooh, that was a little bit fast. There we go. Hit the brakes. And there we go. Landed. Recover that. So, yeah, we're going to be doing a deep space gateway type station. I've also got some upgrade. Sorry, I've completely lost my train of thought there. Obviously, we were on about the mouse. 18,000 DPI mouse, Corsair M65 Elite RGB mouse. Yeah, it's a great mouse. Not sure if it's as comfortable as my old one, but it is an upgrade. So there's that. Tonight I will be ordering another upgrade as well, which you should see the difference. It's a new camera for use instead of my rather cheap and horrible Advent webcam. It was 1080p full HD. It just ain't that good. So yeah, I will be replacing that with a Logitech, and I think I'm going to go for the C930E. Great looking webcam, bit of a wider angle of view I think, so it should be a bit better as well. Yeah, so there's that. So, right, let's just quickly have a look around. That does not contain locked or invalid parts. I've just flown it. Right, so we want something that's going to have a lot of lift. So, Gizmod, if you're watching, are you specifying that I need to have someone in it, or it can be, say, remote guided? What was that they did now? Regalo wings. Have I just built this backwards? Yeah. Not being funny, the centre mass marker is does that count as a plane? Start a new episode on it. Will it fly? get rid of those because they're kind of getting in the way and I can't see what the hell I'm doing. Try that, shall we? This could be interesting. Right, I've had an idea. So, I may not be able to land it, but I think I'll be able to get it up in the air. That didn't do what I thought it would. Do that. It's like it's reversing everything I do. But it's not, because it's doing the same thing when I reverse what I'm doing. What? Right, I'm going to try this again. I'm going to just build it again. Right, that's pointing the right way now. I'm going to take a new fork to this one. See if this one does it. Check your staging, always check your staging. There we go, how about that? We have a plane that's flying with 10 fuel. No vertical stabilizer, and that is why you need a vertical stabilizer. Right, let's try that, shall we? A little bit of vertical stabilisation. Oh, that's just ice water. Already doing 200 meters per second. As you can see, it's already a lot more stable. Let's see what sort of speed we can get out of this, shall we? It's quite nippy. We've already broken the speed of sound, I think. So apparently we're doing over 1118 miles per hour. When I just checked that, we're now doing more than that. Quite a bit more. Right, let's see what we're like fuel wise, and we need to start heading back. I know full well we're not going to be able to land, but you know, maybe we should aim for here and just sort of park alongside it, shall I? This flies actually quite well. This is without any stabilisation from the SAS. Okay. So we have a plane that can fly, but we don't land it, but that's fine. Sorry, just thought it was a bit weird. There was some weird noise coming outside. So yeah, that's how you can make a small plane. And if you want to land it, just put a parachute on it, get it over where you want to land it, and just drop it down. Right, okay. So, there we go. That's that. Basics of planes. I'm just going to go basics of rocketry quickly as well. This might help you, Hannah. So I'm not going to go with my massive. What's all this? Oh yeah, I made multi-stage rocketries. Yeah, but I don't need all that. Ah, why did I click launch? Right. Let's go back. So I'm just going to build a very quick 2-stage rocket with a capsule, okay? So, first capsule, we'll go with this one. Nice and easy. Okay, so, first things you want. Parachutes to land. So there's my drogue. And then I only need one really. And then pop one. So, drogue always goes first. That's the one that slows you down a bit. Okay. Then you're going to want something to stop you from burning up and all of that. So you put a heat shield on. That's your basic capsule, okay? Again, not sure if you're already aware of this, but sometimes it's helpful. And then you're going to want to have a decoupler, because you're going to want to separate that from the rest of your rocket. Generally, anyway. I'm going to go down to 2.5. I'm going to pick this one, for instance, and use this engine. So the reason I'm picking this engine is it's not optimized for ground level. So rocket engines are optimized for different. So ones that are necessarily good at ground are not going to be as good in space. Ones that are good in space are not going to be as good in at ground level. So if you notice, this engine ISP, which is basically amount of thrust per amount of fuel, or specific impulse, is what it's actually called. So the higher the number, the better. Okay, so at sea level, this engine produces 90 thrust and 350 at vacuum. Not 90 thrust. It has a specific impulse of 90 and a specific impulse of 350 in vacuum, which is space. Which means at sea level, this engine produces only 64 kilonewtons of thrust, but at vacuum it produces 250. That is a lot more. Whereas you go to this one, say, this is the 1.25 meter Terrier engine, only 14 kilonewtons of thrust at sea level, but 60 at in vacuum. That means its ISP is 85 at sea level, 345 in vacuum. If you go here to the swivel, it's still better in vacuum, but it's not as good as the others. But it is better at sea level. Same with this one, okay? Even smaller difference. And again, the same with that one. Okay, again, this one, quite a big difference again, more than 320, which is what we were getting with this one. And again, that one's much more even. So you want something that's vacuum optimized, which will be like that. Okay, they're much more efficient, use a lot less fuel in that scenario. So there we go, another decoupler. Fuel tanks, I'm going to use one of them and one of those. There we go. Let's paint it orange. And there we go. Now we want to put a ground level engine on. Now we were looking for a TWR. So I've got some mods here that really help me, and that is Kerbal Engineer Redux and MechJet. These are both available through CCAN, which is what I use. So at the minute, TWR at this point is 1.05. You want that to be over 1.0 to lift, okay? Anything less than that, you will stay on the ground until it goes over that amount, okay? And that's great. So that's fine. Now we want our next engine. Now we're going to want a sea level engine. See if that does it. 650. So this will not lift off. As you can see, it's only got 0.81. Okay, at thrust to weight ratio. How about got anything about 1,000? We've got this one. Let's see what that does. 1.24. Actually, that's almost perfect. So you want this to be about 1.3. Alright, I'm actually going to go a little bit more than that today. Could go with that one, 2.33. Going to go with the main sail engine. These are all stock engines, all stock parts that I'm using right now in this particular instance. TWR is 1.81, so what we can actually do is we can limit the thrust to bring us down to about 1.3, which is actually where I really like it. It's quite stable on takeoff, it's not too much power to begin with, and means that we save a little bit of fuel and it burns a little bit longer. So let's launch that. So this rocket has a delta V, which is the specific terminology for that, I believe, is the amount of change in speed that it can create. Okay, and don't hold me to that, I think that's the terminology. So we're going to launch this. Alright. So as you can see, it leaves at nice speed. Still, it accelerates nicely. And we're just going to pitch over it just a touch. So I'm letting this come up. Letting this hit about 30,000 meters before I pitch over any more. That's good. Now our TWR on our second stage has actually increased over 1, which means we will continue accelerating once we have staged. Staging means obviously deploying this stage and starting on this stage. There we go. So we now want to go up to about 73-ish thousand meters at this point, I guess, and get rid of the dead weight there. So we are still letting this burn out. Again, this is all MechJeb, this is all Kerbal Engineer. Again, great bits of information to have. So once this number goes over 70,000, we're in orbit. There we go, in orbit. Okay. So I'm going to warp here because I want to land in light. Now I'm going to burn retrograde. Okay. So you got prograde, which is in the direction that you are flying. Retrograde, which is the opposite. Oh, it's like braking. All right. You don't just burn up and down when in orbit, you burn forwards and backwards to increase. So if you're at your periapsis, which is the lowest point in your orbit, that is, you burn prograde to increase your apoapsis, which is the highest point on the opposite side of the orbit. If you burn prograde, it will raise the apoapsis. If you burn retrograde, it will lower it. And again, if you're at the apoapsis, which is your highest point, and which is again the opposite to your periapsis, if you burn retrograde, it will lower your periapsis. If you burn prograde, it will raise your periapsis. Generally, if you want to increase your orbital height, or the peak of your orbit, that's best to do it at periapsis. It's most efficient. If you want to do it at the other, if you want to reduce yours and maybe come into the atmosphere, then you're best to do that burn at the apoapsis to reduce it reduce the periapsis, as there's obviously less to do. Right, so we're just going to let this go around now. So just let that go. I'm going to turn off SAS, so this now can find its own centre. Again, this conical shape is really good for a capsule. It's self-stabilizing, which means that as this does that, if it does that, obviously the air pressure will push it back round. So I'm just going to let it rock and roll so you can see that. As you can see, now starting to self-stabilise as the air is getting thick enough. There you go, look. So you're going to see this go grey, okay, like this colour. That's when you can then deploy your drogue chute, and then shortly after that, this one. So as you can see, that's gone grey. So we'll put a drogue chute. That will start to slow us down, as you can see. We're now already dropped from 800 down to 300 and below. Now we can deploy our second chute, which is our main chute, and let that bring us down. Drogue chute deployed, main chute deployed. Now surface speed is only 13 meters per second. Right, after this has landed, I think I'm going to call this stream ended. That came down a bit harder than I thought, but that's fine. Done. There we go. Landed. Again, got a bigger vessel, you might want to use multiple parachutes. But that is the end of the stream. Okay, as it is now closely approaching midnight, and I still have 2 more things to do tonight. Thank you very much for watching, though, guys. Hannah, I hope this helps. Any questions, don't forget to ask. I will send you. I'll send you a link, as you may have already received, to this video. Thanks for your help again with the logo. Much appreciated. And yeah. So yeah, we're talking more about some of the upcoming things within the channel on the Sunday stream, if it happens, which I really think it will, but I hope that nothing stops that. Again, we'll let you all guys know via the Twitter page, which is phgaming6. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, do that. If you didn't, do that. And also don't forget to subscribe if you would like to see more from me. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and good night.